Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. If you're here, you're looking to build your ultimate Smart Members playbook for navigating your new BonPrime medical cover. And you want to do it without the stress, right? Medical aid can honestly feel pretty overwhelming with all the rules and the limits, but today we're going to master exactly how your BonPrime plan works so you can maximize your benefits with total confidence. Let's get started.
Here's what's on the agenda today. First, family costs and savings. Second, using day-to-day benefits. Third, managing chronic medication rules. Fourth, hospital networks and copayments. And finally, travel and extra benefits.
All right, Section 1, Family Costs and Savings.
Let's start with the immediate numbers. We need to know what's actually leaving your bank account and what's going straight into your medical savings. So, as the main member, you're paying $3,255 a month. That builds you an annual savings pot of $6,252. For adult dependents, it's $2,546 monthly, giving you $4,884 in savings. And child dependents, they cost just $1,035 a month, which generates $1,992 in annual savings. Now here is a massive win if you're budgeting for a family. You literally stop paying premiums entirely after your third child. Yeah, you heard that right. You only pay for a maximum of 3 kids. And even better, your kids stay on that significantly lower child rate all the way until they turn 24. I mean, that is an absolute game changer for long-term financial planning, especially as your kids grow up and head off to university. Okay, moving right along to Section 2, using day-to-day benefits. So, you might be wondering, how are your everyday medical needs actually funded? Well, expenses like popping in to see your GP, getting a referral to a specialist, grabbing acute meds for a sudden flu, getting x-rays, or running blood tests, all of these are paid directly from those available savings we literally just looked at. You've got full control over that pot of money.
But what happens if those savings run dry? Well, BonPrime has a built-in safety net. They offer one extra family GP consult at the Bonitas rate once your savings are depleted. Plus, they keep your basic maintenance in check. Eye tests are covered once per beneficiary every 2 years, or you get R420 towards an out-of-network test. Oh, and basic dentistry, like your 2 annual checkups, that's also paid straight from your savings.
Now I want to share a real secret to getting way more out of your cover. By just completing a simple online mental health assessment and wellness screening, you activate what's called the Benefit Booster. This is absolutely vital because it actually pays your out-of-hospital expenses first. That protects your real savings for later in the year. Plus, it unlocks access to specific care programs, things like mental health support, diabetes management, and back and neck care.
All right, on to Section 3, Managing Chronic Medication Rules.
Let's look at how BonPrime handles your long-term needs. They cover 28 prescribed minimum benefit chronic conditions. We're talking about everything from asthma to hypertension to epilepsy and multiple sclerosis. Plus, and this is a really helpful surprise, they grant an additional covered condition specifically for depression medication, covering up to $65 per beneficiary per month.
But you've got to pay attention to this absolutely crucial warning. You must use their designated service provider, Mara Pharmacy, and you absolutely must stick to their specific formulary, which basically just means their approved drug list. If you do that, you're 100% covered. But if you walk into a non-network pharmacy or you insist on a non-formulary drug, you're going to get hit with a 30% out-of-pocket penalty. Ouch! It really pays to follow the rules here.
Section 4, Hospital Networks and Copayments. Let's get into it.
So now we're escalating from everyday care to the heavy stuff, major medical events. What actually happens if you're admitted to the hospital? Now, you might assume everything is fully covered the second you walk through those hospital doors, but there are strict managed care protocols in place, and you need to know them to protect your wallet.
To avoid any nasty surprise bills, you must, and I mean absolutely must, secure pre-authorization before you're admitted. And you have to strictly stick to BonPrime's list of network private hospitals. If you just ignore this and show up at a non-network hospital, you're looking at another massive 30% copayment penalty.
Now, even inside a network hospital, you need to be aware that certain elective procedures have fixed upfront copayments. So, for example, a colonoscopy or a gastroscopy, that carries an R2020 copayment. An arthroscopy is going to cost you R5,130 out of pocket, and reflux surgery requires a surprisingly steep R9,500 copayment. It's so vital to budget for these things ahead of time.
You're also going to face specific co-payments for specialized scans. You'll pay R2,240 Rand out of pocket for MRIs and CT scans. And please be extremely careful with where you book your surgeries. There are some pretty harsh penalties, like a R7,100 penalty for using a non-network day hospital, or an R8,400 penalty if you don't use the designated service provider for cataract removals. Don't get caught out by those.
Okay, final section. Section 5. Travel and extra benefits.
Let's look at some of the fringe benefits that really build up your safety net outside the normal doctor's office. If you're planning an overseas trip, your family is backed by a whopping $1.2 million in international travel cover for medical emergencies while you're outside of South Africa. I mean, that is just incredible peace of mind when you're out exploring the world.
But listen up, because this amazing asset doesn't just magically activate the second you board the plane. No way. You have to register for the travel benefit prior to your departure. Whatever you do, do not skip this step, or you're going to be flying completely without a net.
And as an awesome added bonus, growing families can register for these really amazing maternity and childcare programs. We're talking 24/7 maternity advice lines, weekly pregnancy education, online classes to help you prepare for birth, and even dedicated pediatrician consults and hearing screenings for young toddlers. It's the whole shebang.
So your BonPrime plan is an incredibly powerful financial tool, but honestly, only if you actually know the playbook. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Are you leaving money on the table? Go unlock your benefit booster right now, learn your networks, and take control of your cover. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.